It's Brian. It's week 4. I got my Terminus Barbecue shirt on. I got Daryl over my shoulder watching out for me. It must be time for that AMC's gigantic franchise, The Walking Dead. That's right. But before we get into that, just a couple of quick things, especially want to talk about the survey. First, thanks so much to everyone for filling in the survey. We had great response, wonderful comments that people made that allowed us to look over and see what things are going well, what things we might be able to change. So let me address that a couple of different ways. First, some folks said, hey, it's a lot of reading that's going on, and they were a little bit concerned about things that were going on in the modules as far as the quizzes and items like that. Okay, I get it. Given the year that we have had, more than sensitive to workload issues as things are going on. I know a lot of you are taking a lot of summer work hours as well as some other courses and things. So here's what we've done. In the time that's remaining in Module 4 and Module 5, we took a quick look and saw what can we move into some optional readings instead of mandatory to change those things around, and take another look at the syllabus quiz items as well to make sure they're not too specific, they're more general feeling for things. So in the case of Module 5, next week, we actually cut the entire module in half from the original plan, pared all of the readings down to just one, pared down a lot of the mini lecture stuff down as well, so that we're just going to talk about the zombie comedy aspect, and we'll close up the course and wrap things up given for that. Now, a lot of folks said they were a little bit concerned about the blogs. They weren't sure exactly what's going on. Hey, I get it. But that's also kind of part of it. Like, they're very creative assignments. You can see me going out on a limb in the videos trying to show you, hey, here's what we're doing. The readings are sort of some template ideas for that. They get more progressively difficult as we go on. I'm loving the comments that I'm seeing. I'm reading and watching people's videos and the blogs. A lot of exciting, fun stuff that's happening there. The idea is to be able to play with some of the communication concepts and some of the zombie stories that we have going on. So I appreciate you being willing to do that with us. We haven't really been penalizing anybody for, you got this wrong, you got this wrong. We're looking for content. We're looking for the way that you make the argument that you're doing in there as much as possible for stuff. Now, some folks said, hey, I don't like that this is an online class. This was actually always an online class, even before the pandemic. But I totally get that, hey, we've had a lot of Zoom University and people are ready to get back to actually seeing folks. And hey, we're coming out of this. I myself am fully vaccinated. I know a lot of you are. So here's what I'm going to do. By the way, I host office hours every day from 10 to noon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can pop in there with any questions you've got. Love to hear from you. See folks that are going and what problems and issues you've got going on. The link is on the syllabus. It's on Zoom. But this Thursday, I'm going to hold in-person office hours at the University Union on campus. They're not required. They're just there. But if you've got time and you're on campus and you want to pop by, I'll be there from noon to 3. It'll give me an opportunity to hang out. For some of you, I'll be meeting you face-to-face for the first time. So we'll see if we can make this work out. We're going to obviously follow all of the university's guidelines. Like I said, I'm vaccinated. I've been doing stuff on campus all summer long, so I hope to be able to see you there and see the things that are going on. Now, let me turn real quickly to the stuff that's going on for this week. First of all, last week's module is about the fast and slow zombie. Wow, loved hearing your responses. As we noted, it's not just director's choice. It's about what's going on in society and the rate of change that affects society. We are very familiar with this as we have just experienced a global pandemic and things changed very, very rapidly. So with those zombie stories, we're getting something even closer to what we identify with, what we understand as the modern speed of the zombie. Some of you didn't agree with it. That's totally fine. It's more about what's the function of this, because after all, we're talking about the rhetorical function in society. Also loved watching all of your blog posts. Looking forward to this next installment when we start looking forward to the others that are all around us. And as my t-shirt indicates, and our Walking Dead coverage, by the way, all of our little discussion groups are named after different survivor groups in The Walking Dead. Don't know if you caught that or not. Survivors can be cannibals also. Really, it is the survivors, and when I mention that, I'm mentioning some of the axioms that we talked about last week. We've already discussed the zombie's always raced, it's always gendered, it has a nationality, it can represent anything, it's sort of an open receptacle that can be used in different signification processes. It's always about the present, it's not about the future, it's not about the past, and we talked about it's always about the survivors. And to continue that, and to continue on this idea of axioms, when we continue thinking about this and The Walking Dead, I got to add one more, and that is the axiom that for this last thing, all of these zombie stories are really about communication. Communication is at the heart of all of these rhetorical theories. They're at the heart of all these interactions between internal groups and external groups. They're about how we deal with threats, how we understand things. We're working on how we understand the threats that are going on around us, how they exist, how these things challenge group communication. Communication is not just tangential in zombie stories, it is the centerpiece. All of these movies that you have been watching, they are basically movies that are communication theories put into action. Everywhere there's a communication problem that the survivors have to work out, whether it's inside their group or whether they're dealing with other groups. And so we need to know all of these are different examples of the concepts and the theories that we have been working on, which is why those readings now are starting to get really important for how we understand the different zombie movies, the zombie stories. And as we move into The Walking Dead, we're going to try and apply even more of those. Now, The Walking Dead, oh my gosh, it was a comic book, it was a television series. We're run 10 seasons long now. There was a spin-off series, Fear the Walking Dead. There's also not just one, but several video games. There are board games. If you go down to the comic store or the gaming shop, you can find multiple different board games that are based on different seasons of the stores. There's all kinds of stuff that is going on. It's become gigantic. It's not just a story, it's become a franchise. So there's all kinds of different things going on. I want us to just dip our toe into The Walking Dead. I want us to just get a sense. I'm only asking you to watch 2 episodes and get a sense. And here's the interesting thing. We've got internal group dynamics, external group dynamics, but every episode of The Walking Dead is at its heart about family. Family communication becomes the most important thing for surviving this apocalyptic zombie scenario. And in any episode that you pick, you're going to find family dynamics at play. So we're going to try and look at it, and our readings are geared toward looking specifically at things that are going on in the family. We'll see what we can make of that in our discussion groups for stuff, all right? Wow, we are getting so close to the end, y'all. Stay alive. Keep our survivor thread going. We're going to make it through all of this together. We've got just one more episode left in our Module 5. We turn to the comic side. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what you do this week as we look forward into this Walking Dead series. Stay alive!